Tau santoshayata santo Srila Rupa Sanatano Dakshinatyena Bhattena Punaretad Vivichyate Tasyadyam Granthana Lekham Kranta Vyutkranta Khanditam Pariyalocyata Paryayam Krutva Likati Jivakaha. Hare Krishna. So I welcome all of you for today's Bhakti Sandrabha discussions. So we're discussing pure devotional service. So is also known as Ananya Bhakti. Is also known as Aikantiki Bhakti. So it is said as Ananya Bhakti because here in this pure devotional service, that is nothing but Sakshat Bhakti. So which is recommended as Abhideya, which is a process. That means Abhideya means process has to be followed. Bhakti, Sakshat Bhakti is recommended for us. So then that Sakshat Bhakti, how it is done? So Ananya Bhakti, that means we have to worship only Krishna and not worshipping others. So that should be the case actually. That should be there actually. And also there should not be desiring any material things. That's why Aikantiki Bhakti or otherwise Akinchana Bhakti Akama. Why one will not, one should not desire from the Sakshat Bhakti? So one who should not desire some material objects from by the Sakshat Bhakti, because what is the reason? Why we should not desire? Is there any hetu for this? Is there any hetu? That means, is there any cause? Why we should not desire material things? So by doing Sakshat Bhakti, yes, Archana Bhakti Mataji, please.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yes.
So, Sakshat Bhakti is the goal of Sakshat Bhakti, or Sakshat Bhakti is capable of giving us the highest result of prema. So
Yes.
why we engage Sakshat Bhakti in giving us something inferior?
Exactly, Mataji. So it is having the ability to destroy all the obstacles, and it can directly give the Bhagavad Prema. Then why you have to use this for the cheap things, for the material gains? So that is the thing actually. Yeah, very good. Good observation. Good. Yeah. So this is the reason actually. So that's why we should not utilize this. If you are going to get the highest result from the someone, you should go for the highest or the lowest things you'll use. You'll be so targeting the highest thing, na, by that. So that's why.
And even if Prabhuji, if Sakshat Bhakti is able to, even without desire, that will get one can achieve even material desire if he is performing Sakshat Bhakti. But even if he will not desire, then also he will get.
Acha. So Sakshat Bhakti will fulfill. So unasked desires. That means fulfill the desires which were not asked.
Even it means some hidden desire he don't want to present to Lord, but his desire is also prema, but some desire in his mind that.
Oh, acha. Acha. This font from where you brought actually, really innovative point. Wow. That means anyway, it is going to fulfill the desires like that. You can desire inside. Without asking inside. You can keep on desiring. Even we should not have any internally also any desires. So thinking that, so anyway, she will come to know and she will fulfill my desire. So let me have inside. That is also having desire only. It is.
I'm saying, Broji,
Mm,
when a devotee came to know that the highest desire is prema of Krishna, but at that time, suppose he's having some desire and he's resistingly thinking, no, 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 I should not do this because highest goal is Krishna prema.
mm,
So if Lord see that his resistance, or he's trying to achieve Krishna prema,
mm.
and Lord will also give prema and he also fulfill the desire. That what I'm saying.
Lord, whatever is good for us, then He will do. Sometimes He may fulfill, He will not fulfill also. That is in His own hands. Okay, so it's not that everything should be fulfilled. So whatever good for the child, so parents they will give that. So similarly, if some desires are not good desires means, so those are all harmful for you to struck. Maybe if they give, you might be thinking I should become a millionaire. But Lord is thinking that if he becomes millionaire, then he'll go away from me. Then he will not fulfill. Then he will be fulfilling. So yeah, other desires. Yeah. So maybe otherwise he might be thinking by making him devotee, he can be more engaged in the service and he may fulfill. So that's why. So we don't need to desire anything. So whatever is good for us, so Krishna will take care. So only thing is anyavilashta sunyam. So we should try to, we should not try, but we should. Uh, so we should not desire anything, material things. So from the devotion, we should not maintain. Even if you're not asking, but even we should not maintain any material desires. So that is very dangerous for the spiritual life. So that means you are unknowingly or knowingly, so consciousness going there and you are doing the chanting and you are desiring, then those will be fulfilled. So that is also not good. One might be thinking brahmachari, so I should get married sometimes. You might be thinking inside and doing the japa. Maybe internally he's not asking, but sometimes he's feeling that, means how it will be nice. So let me have married life. I want to taste married life. Then okay. So and also sees many factors will come into this, and his anarthas and many things come into the consideration here. So here, in that case, in that brahmachari, so something that means, so he was internally maintaining such desires, and those will be fulfilled. So that can be a lesson also. That can be a lesson by the Lord. So that means sometimes to give a treatment. So doctor may cut the body. He may cut sometime body. So like that. So by providing that material desire, so devotee maybe sometime will be undergoing some kind of pain. Okay. So that he will be realizing and he will be coming back. Like in the case of Bharat Maharaj also, we can see another explanation. So by being, that means sometimes material desires are enforced, that means intensified by the will of the Lord. And so that that devotee will be materially going away from the bhakti for superficially going away from the bhakti for some time. Then after that, so his intensity, then in that stage he will be getting the meekness. He'll become, that means himself as humble. So this can happen actually. It can be offenses or it can be, so Lord also sometimes, both two cases are possible. So because of offenses also one may go get attraction and go away from the bhakti. So instead of becoming full-time brahmachari and serving 24 hours and being engaged in the service, So that is obviously highest in the life. Yes or no? And now after that, going for marriage and having the family life, and so he's investing his energy in maintaining the wife, children, and this. Then this is what actually. This is what actually. This he is losing his position. No? He is coming down. He's coming down or not? So 24 hours he is having the chance of engaging into Krishna service. Now somehow or other, so he has to maintain livelihood, and for that he has to work hard, and also family, and also relatives, this, that. So directly he cannot be engage himself in the service of the Lord. That's obvious. So in that way it is, so one way it's unfortunate. That means he is not able to, like in the case of, the case of Bharat Maharaj also happened. So he was fully directly doing the directly service, but he got animal body. Then what happened? By being animal body, so he was not able to do worship, but he was able to thinking smarana, but trying to leave this body, and so directly, so he wants to, so he was waiting for that actually. So that's why, so this kind of thing will happen. So because of offenses, or otherwise because of Lord's own will also. Both can be the, anyone can be the reason. That we already discussed. So like this, so Ananya Bhakti is described in many ways. That means also it is said as the Aikantiki Bhakti. So it is known as Aikantiki Bhakti because they are just desiring only serving the Lord. So they want to please the Lord. That is only their desire actually. Aikantiki, it is targeted towards the single thing. So that's why it is known as Aikantiki Bhakti. Next, we also discussed Lord and Lord's devotees both are. So Lord is also not having any kind of expectation from his devotees. And similarly, so devotee is also not having any materially expectation from the Lord. This is the perfect relationship, Swami and the Bhritya. So servant, master and servant relationship. Master should not be having the expectation from the servant, some kind of honor, and so appreciate, that means some kind of so giving controllership on him. Such a expectation should not be there in the case of master. And also servant should not be thinking that I will be getting the benefit from him, so that's why I will be serving. So this is also not good. So both, that means servant is always thinking how to work myself favorably to my Lord, my master. So that is the mood actually. And also servant, master also thinks that, so taking care, he is always busy in the taking care of his servant, and without any so-called controllership on him. So-called controllership on him. So this is the perfect master and servant relationship. So that same thing is there actually. Prahlad Maharaj is saying to Lord Nrsingadev. So that's why he is saying this Nijalabha Naivatmanah Prabhurayam Nijalabha Purno. So from this sloka we are understanding. So Lord is fully satisfied and he is not expecting any kind of just anything he is not expecting from his devotees. Any service or Nijalabha Purna Icchanti Pujam. He is not expecting any worship from his devotees. Why? What are the two reasons we discussed? Why? So why Lord is not desiring any worship from his devotees? What are the two reasons? Archana Bhakti Mata, yes.
Prabhuji, the Lord is not expecting. So
Yeah.
first of all, he's fully satisfied in himself.
Yes.
And he gets happiness seeing that his devotee is benefited by rendering devotional service. So
Yes.
he feeling happy for the devotee, not that he wants to get something.
Yes.
And the second reason is that he doesn't want to see his devotee suffer by performing devotional service. He's going through difficulty, like a loving father. He doesn't want to see his devotee go through difficulties.
Yeah.
That's
So whatever endeavor is done for the worship, so that much pain also he doesn't want to see in his devotee's case. So that means collecting rice and collecting milk, and after that collecting firewood and making fire, and after that preparing the milk rice. This much endeavor, why my devotees has to do? Huh? So, acha. Lord is not also expecting Mangalarti, so no need to go to Mangalarti. Then good. So that means that's why. So Lord is not desiring any worship from us. So that's why we should not go to Mangalarti. Yes, because we should follow Lord's desire. Lord is not desiring any worship, so that's why. Yes, Sarvesham Sundar Prabhu, what do you say on this? Huh? Why we have to attend? Tell me then. You are saying he's saying that we should attend. Now we'll take a debate on this. Why? Take the mic. Tell me. Lord is not desiring your worship anything. Why you have to early morning waking up and taking bath and coming here? So pain you are taking. So he doesn't want to see that. So he doesn't want to see that means you should also not do that. No? Why? Why? Tell me why. You don't know. Who is going to answer for this? Huh? You. Okay, give to him. Okay, tell me.
One reason is, Prabhuji, that Lord doesn't want, but we want to show our love towards Lord. Our love toward Lords, that we are coming and showing, coming for you in this cold also and hot also.
Acha. What you want to say? So coming and you want to show your love to the Lord.
Yes,
but he's not desiring, na?
But from our side, we are desiring to.
Acha.
No,
You are desiring. Acha. So what Prahlad Maharaj, what he's saying? Rukmini Mohan Prabhu, tell me.
Hi Krishna Prabhu.
Pranam, bro.
So Prahlad Maharaj is saying that they are avidusha. So devotees are. So two cases you said that one is out of humility, saying that devotees are ignorant in front of the Lord. They don't know anything. And another case was that devotees are. So that was the point discussed in the two cases earlier also, that Lord doesn't want, but it is for our benefit actually. So that's why we should do these things. So that's for our benefits. We will advance. That's what Lord wants to see, and that's why He accepts. Although He doesn't want, doesn't expect, but He accepts the worship for our benefit.
So give me some example to say that we will only get benefit.
Like the basic example is everybody is suffering in the material world. But by getting Krishna Prem, Jiva Goswami says Preeti is the only way to get out of suffering. To the extent Preeti develops in Jiva, to that extent it comes out of suffering. So when someone, a Jiva advances in Bhakti, then he, I think that's, is
So
it correct?
how can we explain? That means by even Lord doesn't expect or any desire worship from us. Navanchati, Naichati, but still we worship him. So that is going to give benefit to us only. So what is the example for? Can you explain this thing through example? So others. Radharoni Mataji. Acha, okay, Prabhu, Gopi Jan Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, thank you. Prabhuji, it is like if the son serves the father, father will be happy.
Yeah.
Father may not want it.
Yeah.
because actually whatever is being given to son is
Yeah.
by father only. But still, with whatever has been given by father, if son serves, father will be happy. That is one case to make Lord happy. The second, to our Nija Swarupa is as a servant. Servant is meant to serve. And thereby serving the Lord, we also get satisfied.
Yeah. By serving Lord, even Lord is not having expectation from us, also not desiring, but still we serve Him. So that is going to give benefit to us only. So what is the example for this? One udaharana is given, one drishtanta is given. Bhagavan Pandit Prabhu, yes.
That Sanmana Matrana, so Sanman. One is like
Yeah. Yeah.
gives the mirror when you decoration the face, the mirror, reflection, the living entity is reflection.
Yes.
So when you worship the Lord,
Yeah.
and you give the example like when Indian is glorified because you identify with the Lord,
Yes.
because Tat Janasya, so we glorified. Means like Indian because you belongs to Lord also, Indian. So India is great, means you are great.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So because we have the sambandha, so that's right. So here, so that means that sammana matrana so sammanam. That is possible when there is a close relation. So since we are being the part and parcel of the Lord, and if we worship the Lord, so that is really so giving benefit to, we are benefiting ourselves only. That is nothing but we are not benefiting the Lord. So that is not the case. Like example, if you want to see some good decoration in the reflection, then what you have to do? You have to decorate on the face, not the reflection. So similarly, we are like reflections, and Lord is like face. So that's why if you want to see some good thing, good decoration in the reflection, you have to decorate. That means if you want to see benefit for yourself, actually by doing the worship, we are benefiting ourselves. Actually, even in another way, we are benefiting ourselves. It's not that the Lord is dependent on us, and if we are not going to offer bhoga, so he will be hungry and he will be becoming sick, and then he'll be not in the no more is we are not giving the vote like in the prime minister. So if we don't give vote, then so he'll be defeated, and next time he'll not be prime minister. So like that, Lord is also, we are not going to give vote to him, and then he will be not be no more a so supreme personality of Godhead. Is it like that? No. His position is nirupadika. Nirupadika means it is free from the all the kinds of the so upadis. That means it is absolute position. His position is absolute position. Nirupadika means it's kind of so because of the someone's because of someone there is that is there. So for example, nirupadikam, to explain, I used to give that crystal. So if you keep a red cloth near to the crystal, you'll be seeing the redness in the crystal. That redness is a natural quality of the crystal, but we are seeing still redness in that. So that is imposed on that. So then it is known as upadi. So the post whatever is there in the prime minister, that is aupadikam, that is given one. It's not natural by birth. That personality is not a prime minister by the nature. No, only for it is time being, it is given by some external conditions. Similarly, Lord's but unlike to that, so Lord's position is completely absolute. So irrespective of other jivatmas, he is always supreme personality of Godhead. So that's why Nijalabha Purnaha, he is known as Nijalabha Purnaha. He is not dependent on anyone. So that's why Ataeva Aha. Finally, so Lord is not pleased by the any other external things. So if he is, so that is the reason. That's why he is not expecting anything from the anyone, and he is not at all. He's in Nizlabha Purnaha. So he is satisfied by himself, by his own potencies, his internal potencies. So that's why he is not satisfied by something which is external to his swarupa. Nalam dijatvam devatvam rishitvam नालं द्विजत्वं देवत्वं ऋषित्वं वासुरात्मजाः प्रीणनाया मुकुन्दस्य न वृत्तं न बहुज्ञता न दानं न तपो नेज्या न शौचं न व्रतानि च प्रियते मलया भक्त्या हरिरन्यद्विडम्बनम्. So Lord is not pleased by Dvijatvam or Devatvam, Rishitvam or otherwise charity, austerity, worship, cleanliness, or the Vratani. Vratani means some kind of Vratas, and by all these he will not be pleased, but he will be pleased by Amalaya Bhaktya. So without a pure devotional service, that means without the unalloyed service, if you give charity, or if you do the austerity, and if you worship him, that is simply what? So bhaktya harihi anyat vidambanam. So without pure devotion, if you do, that means any worship to the Lord, that is simply what? Those are all simply vidambanam. Show. It's a drama, show off. You might be worshipping him, you might be offering so much charity you are giving. So on the name of the Lord, you might be doing the austerities, but there is no pure devotional service. Then what? That is simply vidambanam, natana matram. Ataha sakama bhaktasya api bhaktehe natana matratvam swardha sadhana matra tatparyena bhaktyanukarana matratvat. So that's why all the sakama bhaktas, whoever is doing the devotion, so they are all, so comes under the category of the, so drama. So sakama bhaktasya bhaktehe natana matratvam. So materialistic desires, person who is sakama bhakta, who is having material desires, and his devotion is what? Simply natana matratvam. Why it is natana matratvam? Swardha sadhana matra tatparyana. Because what is his goal? So he wants to reach his goal. That means he wants to get fulfilled of his desires. So for that purpose he is doing the bhakti. For the purpose he is doing the bhakti. So that means that bhakti simply is what? Is anukaranam. So is simply anukaranam. So that kind of relation is simply a material relation. Not material. It is simply is not the real love is not there actually. Bhakti anukarana matratvat. Yatha pareshamapi natanam kvachit tad anukaranam tathaiva iti. It's not a matram, because someone is not a king, but he is taking the role of king and in the drama and is doing. He's not king, but he is doing. Similarly, here Sakama Bhakta, he is not devotee actually, but simply he is so showing the devotion. So just because why you are saying he's not? Because he doesn't have any unalloyed devotion to the Lord. Amalaya Bhaktya. So that's why Amalaya Bhaktya. That means Anyabhilashta Sunyam. So he is not having the characteristics of Anyabhilashta Sunyam. So not desiring other things. So that is not there. So that means they are worshipping Lord just for some benefit. So then that means whatever prema they are showing to the Lord, bhakti or prema, that is what is the inner motive? Just to fulfillment of their material desires. So then Lord is saying, then that is said as, so here Prahlad Maharaj is saying, then that is simply is a natana matra, vidambanam. This also we discussed. So tat sakamatvam aihikam paralokikam cha iti dvidam. So this sakamatvam, that means the material desires, of these people is are two types actually. They are belonging to this middle world and paralaukikam. That means to the other, another world. So ahika means in this earthly results, and paralaukikam means related to the other world, swarga and ityadi. So tat sarvameva nishidyate. So that means pure devotee. That's why. So here we are trying to establish pure devotional service. That is a goal actually. Srila Jiva Goswami is discussing. After discussing the bhakti is the abhideya. So where bhakti is various kinds of the bhaktis we have seen as the abhideya. But out of all those also we are clearly showing that so sakshat bhakti is only the abhideya, is really the process we should follow. We also gave the 5 reasons to say that. Why Sakshat Bhakti only has to be followed? Because that 5 reasons you all remember that. Anyway, I'm not going to repeat that. So there are 5 reasons. So that's why, some people may do that Sakshat Bhakti, but they are having material desires. Then that is also is condemned here. So doing the Karma Mishra Bhakti, Gnana Mishra Bhakti, that's definitely, so they are all finished. Sakshat Bhakti is only they are in the Swarupa itself. That kind of bhakti is not recommended. So Karma Mishra or Gnana Mishra. So Karma Gnanadi Anavrutam is our Amishratvam. So those should not be mixed. So Sakshat Bhakti is only is recommended to practice. And that Sakshat Bhakti also without any material desires should be done. That is the point. So we are discussing here. And here Nagapatnis also are the proof to say that that means one devotee should not have any so desires for this material world or the other worlds. Nanaka prishtam na cha sarva bhaumam na parameshtyam na mahendra dishnyam ityadina. So these are Nagapatnis, they are saying Nanaka prishtam. So can you read this translation? So 10th canto 16th chapter 37 sloka.
Those who have attained the dust of your lotus feet never hanker for the kingship of heaven, limitless sovereignty on earth, the position of Brahma, or rulership over the lower planetary systems. They are not interested even in the perfections of yoga or in liberation itself.
Yeah, they are not interested in the wealth of the Brahmaloka or the lower planets or anything. Nanaka prishtam nacha sarvabhauma. So any wealth related to the heavenly planets, that we don't want. We don't want the the emperor, that means emperorship on this earth. That also we don't want. We don't want any anima, lagima, so and so other siddhis, and we don't want the position of the Brahmaji. So even we don't want the wealth in the lower planets. So much wealth is there. So that also we don't want. We don't want anything. Just they want the the dust of the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord. So these are the this is the situation actually. So material desires they don't have. They should not have devotees. So whoever really wants to be a servant of the Lord, so that servant, how the servant should be, he should not be thinking that, he should not be thinking that so I will be getting this benefit from my master. So that kind of attitude should not be there. Then he will not be the servant actually. Even in the material world also, so servant means he is not at all thinking about his benefit. He is always thinking about his master's benefit. And day and night, anytime he will be always in full of attention for serving his master. And that's master's duty. Master also is not thinking that I am the controller, and he will be always in the mood of serving his or protecting his servant. That is his duty. But servant is never, so he is full of, that means confidence that my master will take care of everything. So whatever I need. So that's a yoga kshemam vahamyaham. So my master will take care. So that is a surrenderance actually. Even in the villages also, that quality you'll be seeing in the servants. This is the quality we can see in the general material world also. In the good servant will be always like this only. He is always just thinking about 24 hours how my master should be so getting the benefit. So he is thinking like this and not expecting anything from him. And he will never blaspheme or he will never complain about his master to anyone actually. So that is the loyalty he maintains. And his master also is having the full of affection on him. He should not be thinking that I am the controller and I am controlling him. No. So that is the material world we are seeing. That's a relationship between the servant and master. The same way, so servant always should be thinking. So that means not expecting any material, any benefits. So he will be, so even in the spiritual benefit, a spiritual benefit means, so I will be going to the spiritual world, then I will be happy, and I can peacefully live. And then after going there, so my life will be so nice without three fold miseries. So, and there I can with this Sarupa Shakti, so I'll be having the body of this. Like this, you will think. This also you never think. From my master, I will get this kind of body, so then I will be happy. Like that, you'll think. He will also not think that. So that's the best example. Prahlad Maharaj's prayers to Narsingh Bhagavan. So it's really that's a dasya bhava. You can see clearly the reflection. It's reflecting in his prayers. How a servant is always submissive for his master. So this is the thing. In unalloyed devotional service, so this is the quality of the devotees. Next, tasmad vaivashvata manuputrasya prashadrasya tu mumukshoho api aikantitva vyapadeshah gaunah eva bodhavyah. So it is from the 9th canto, I think. So Prashadra. So Vaivasva Manu story comes in 9th canto. Ending of this 8th canto, you'll be seeing that Satyavrata. So he will be in the next life becoming the Manu. So he's a son of the Surya Bhagavan, and he will be becoming the Manu, and he will be taking the charge of that 7th Manvantara. And that Manu's son is Prashadra. There you will be seeing that Prashadra's case. Now, Srila Jiva Goswami is what he is going to do now. So he defined, that means he established the bhakti principle. That means what is that principle? So servants, the devotees, they are not having any kind of expectation from his master. So he will not be thinking any benefits from his master. So that is the principle actually he established. So some things, some text in the Bhagavad itself, they are going so bit against to this, but apparently looking against to that. So what is that example? So Vaivas Manu's son Prashadra. Prashadra. This is maybe in the first 9th canto, 1 or 2 chapters only you will be seeing this. So if you do the search, Vaivasmanu's story, or maybe because Vaivasmanu's dynasty will be discussed here. So maybe it is in the that means Vaivasmanu is having the how many sons? 9 sons. So I'm not remembering exactly actually. So there, Prushadra, you can search actually if in the folio, Prushadra. So if you search, then you'll be touching to that sloka. Then actually we are seeing how that Prushadra is explained there. He is desiring for the moksha, and also we are seeing the aikantika bhakta. We are seeing these two things. He is also said as, we are seeing clearly there in the 9th canto, Prushadra is mumukshu. Mumuksha, the second chapter. Is mumukshu, that means he is desiring liberation. He is desiring liberation, and also he said as he is having the aikantiki bhakti. Aikantiki bhakti is having. So then how it goes? So now based upon this scenario, so what they are going to establish? So he is aikantika bhakta, and also desire, he is having a desire for desiring liberation. Prashadra is given. Then after that, his story, where it came, in which chapter? Then each son will be 9 sons, na? How many? 5 sons. So desiring liberation, 10 sons. Okay. So in that Prashadra is there, na? Prashadra. And one more, if you do search, Prashadra. I think that's Prashadra. There it is said as no, I want mumukshu, that Prashadras. Actually, what happened on that? He was killing the cow actually. Yeah, 9 Mandiri Machadi, please.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, in the book of Banu Maharaj, that verse is quoted as coming from the Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 7, chapter 10, verse 2.
7:10 that is different, Mataji. That is
It says,
that is Prahlad Maharaj. That's
yeah. Sorry, Prabhu.
That we are going to next point for that. So in the Prashadra's case, so we'll be seeing that he is desiring for the liberation, also is said as aikantika bhakta. So that's why here desiring liberation and aikantika bhakta, how they are both not matching. That means aikantika bhakti definition is not followed here in this case of Prashadra. So then that's why here, so clearly Jiva Goswami is saying that Prashadra's aikantika bhakti is not primary, but it is gaunaha. That means here aikantika bhakti word is used in the meaning of secondary meaning. You should take secondary meaning. You should take, not the direct meaning. That's the point. What is the meaning of secondary meaning and primary meaning? You will have a question on this. You'll be getting doubt. What is this primary meaning and secondary meaning? So, like you see, example, I always give this example, even also in the Shastra. So, Gangayam Goshaha, house in Ganges. House in Ganges. So, here, so house in Ganges, is it possible? House is in Ganges. House is in Ganges. So here, so house in Ganges, is it possible? It's not possible. So then what you should take really meaning? House is in or is on the bank of So this is the meaning actually, bank of Ganges. So instead of saying the bank of Ganges, so someone used the word Ganges. So that means instead of saying the bank of Ganges, he used the Ganges. So here this is secondary meaning. This is secondary meaning for Ganges. Actually, primary meaning is then what? Primary meaning of Ganges is flow of water. Flow of water is the primary meaning. So you cannot take here flow of water. You should take bank of the Ganges only, not the flow of water. If you take the flow of water, then the sentence meaning is not correct actually then. So it's not possible actually, that kind of asambhavata is there. So that kind of house is not possible. So that's why, so we are taking, so Ganges means what? Secondary meaning. We're taking the secondary meaning. So here also, Prushadra is said as Aikantiki Bhakta, who is desiring for moksha. He said as Aikantiki Bhakta, desiring for moksha. So then what we should take here? You should not take directly meaning of Aikantiki Bhakta, but you should take someone is having some strong devotion, something like that. Achha. 1 second. Yeah, exactly. So this 9th canto, 2nd chapter, 11th sloka. This 9 to 11. So what is this? So Vasudeve Bhagavate Sarvatmani Paremale Ekantitvam Gato Bhaktya Sarvabhuta Suhrasama Vimukta Sangha Shantatma Samyataksho Parigraha Yadrichayopapannena Kalpayan Vrittimatmanaha. Yeah.
Thereafter, Prashadra gained relief from all responsibilities, became peaceful in mind, and established control over all his senses. Being unaffected by material conditions, being pleased with whatever was available by the grace of the Lord to maintain body and soul together, and being equal toward everyone, he gave full attention to the Supreme Personality of Godhead Vasudeva, who is the transcendental super soul, free from material contamination. Thus, Prashadra, fully satisfied in pure knowledge, always keeping his mind on the Supreme Personality of Godhead, achieved pure devotional service to the Lord and began traveling all over the world without affection for material activities, as if he were deaf, dumb, and blind.
So finally, what happened to him? So Gnana Truptaha Samahitaha Vichachara Mahimetam Jadanda Badirakrutihi Evam Rutto Vanangatva Društva Davagrimuttitam Tena Upokta Karno Brahma Prapa Param Munihi. Finally, where he reached? 14th sloka, you read the translation. 14th sloka, same chapter. Evam Vrittaha Manavangatva.
With this attitude, Prashadra became a great saint, and when he entered the forest and saw a blazing forest fire, he took this opportunity to burn his body in the fire. Thus, he achieved the transcendental spiritual world.
Brahma Prapa. So here the contradiction is what? If you analyze this story, so contradiction is in the 9.2.11 we are seeing he is Ekantiki. Ekantitvam. That means he is having the Ekantiki Bhakti, Ekanta Bhaktaha. He is Ekanta Bhaktaha is said either. And finally he reached what? Brahma Prapti. Brahman. And also in between we are seeing that Gnana Triptaha. Gnana Triptaha means being satisfied with the knowledge. Brahma knowledge, Brahma Gnanam. So if you see 13 sloka, what? Atmanyatmanamadhaya Gnana Triptaha Samahitaha Vichachara. Being satisfied by the Brahma Gnanam. So he was roaming in the world. So like a, what is that? Jadanda Bandhu Bhadirakrutihi. Jada Anda. Anda means like blind and dumb. So like a blind person and a dumb person, how he, so because he is fully in the Brahman's realization, he is not seeing the anything so favorable, or that means anything, so any variegatedness, and he is not seeing any service also. Simply, so being, that means satisfied with the Brahma Gnanam, so he is roaming around like the, so blind man. So blind and dumb. So, and finally, he was roaming like this and went to the forest. And after that, because of that forest fire, he left this body. And finally, he went to the Brahman. So, being Aikantika Bhakta, so how he reached the Brahman? So, that means what? He also is fully satisfied with the Brahma Gnanam. So, that's why here, so that's why people may say, here, Jiva Goswami is saying, he is desiring the liberation. And also, he said as Aikantika Bhakta here. So, then you have to take this Aikantika Bhakta, whatever the word is there, that as secondary meaning. Yes, Archana Bhakti Mataji, please.
Prabhuji, Prabhupada in the purport says he became a pure devotee and went back to Godhead.
So, Gnana Triptaha Samahitaha. There is no purport, no? Actually, where is the purport? Translation.
Purport, Prabhuji, 14. Brahma Prapti.
Acha, acha. Yeah. 14. Maybe other acharyas give you some different view. 1 second, Mataji. 9 to 14. So commentary also is not so small. So because Prabhupada wrote like this, Srila Vishnu Chakra Thakur said, Upayukta Karano Dagdadeham Param Brahma Sri Krishnam. Prabhupada following VCT, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. So that's this whole scene actually can be also analyzed in the view of devotion. So that's why Srila Prabhupada is following the Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur and writing based upon that here. Param Brahma means Sri Krishnam. That is, Jiva Goswami didn't write anything on that word Brahma. He didn't write. He wrote, but here, na, actually. He wrote here in this. Pushadrasya mumukshoho api aikantitva padesha gaunah eva bodhavyaha. Here he clearly saying that it is secondary. That means the word aikantika bhakti. So he is not, that means he didn't reach this because he is having the so gnana truptaha. So he is taking, yeah. So if you see, now you see, I will show today one magic actually. I should also do magic. If you see, this is the beauty of the Sanskrit. I will make the both meanings for your understanding. Both acharyas are correct. Prabhupada is also is correct because he's following the Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, and Srila Jiva Goswami is also correct. He is also following the correct thing only. What I am saying, so no need to worry. This kind of different explanations we always see in the entire Bhagavatam. Like many places we will be seeing like this. So that's why we should not doubt anyone actually here. So who is right or who is wrong? There is no need of thinking like that. It is simply a beauty of the philosophy and also the presentation. Here what is said? Vasudeve Bhagavati Sarvatmani Parame Amalaye Ekantitvam Gatah Bhakta Sarvam Sarvabhuta Suhrut Samaha. So he became equal. That from the 11th sloka, if you see, he got the Bhakti Aikantitvam Gatah Bhaktya. So he, because of doing the unalloyed devotional service to the Vasudevaha, so he got the equality, equalness, so equipoisedness towards all the living entities. Next 12th sloka, if you see, Vimukta, what is that? Vimukta Sangaha Shantatma. So Shantatma Samyataksho Parigraha Yadrichayopapannena Kalpayan Vrittimatmanaha. So Yadrichayopapannena Kalpayan Vrittimatmanaha means whatever is accidentally coming that he is taking, and he is being Shantam is being pleased. You can see these qualities in the case of devotee also. Ultimately, we Atmani Atmanamadhaya Gnana Truptaha. That means he is fully satisfied by the Gnana Truptaha. That means satisfied by the Brahma knowledge, like Jiva Goswami I am giving. So Brahman, and after that he, what is that in the 14th sloka? Brahma, what is that? Kriya? Brahma? Brahma Prapa. Brahma Prapa, that means attained. So he attained Brahma. So here Gnana Tripta means Brahma Gnana I will take. And here Brahman means, so Brahman, that means Nirvishesh Chinmatra Satta. That's Brahman. I take the Brahman. So like this, but here, but still the word Aikantiki is used. Aikantiki Bhakti. So that is in the sloka number 11. So that I will take it as a secondary meaning. That means I am saying that he is not pure devotee. He is the Gnanamishra Bhakta only. But here you should Aikantiki means you should take Gnanamishra Bhakti. Not the pure devotional service. Secondary meaning you should take. Secondary meaning is Gnanamishra Bhakti you should take. So like this Jiva Goswami is saying, he reached the Brahman. Okay, the same thing I will take. So Aikantiki Bhakti I will take. So Aikantiki Bhakti as it is I take. So then I will be stuck in here, Gnana Triptaha. So then I say Gnana Triptaha means he is satisfied with the knowledge. So what knowledge? Here I will take Bhagavad Gnanam. Bhagavad Gnanam. I'll be taking Bhagavad Gnana and Brahma Prapa. That means he reached the Brahman. Means what I should take? Prapa, Brahma Prapa. Then I take here Brahman means Krishna. So both are correct. Both acharyas are correct. Yeah, Gopijan Prabhu. Yeah, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Prabhuji, I was not being unmuted so far, but it is very clearly given in this translation. Prabhupada said he has attained, he has achieved transcendental. I mean, transcendence is in his word meaning. Brahma is transcendence, Prapa is achieved. And he did not say that he reached Goloka.
But in the purport, Mataji is saying.
No, purport, Prabhupada was referring to Bhagavad Gita Shloka 4.9. How jnana karma will make you achieve. But when it comes to this devotee, Prabhupada did not literally anywhere said that he reached Goloka. He reached transcendence. He reached spiritual world. That is, Brahmajyoti is spiritual world, but it is not Goloka.
Okay, for the clarification, I will just read out the 14th purport. So 14 slokas purport. So Lord says in Bhagavad Gita, Janma karma cha me divyam. So the translation is, one who knows the transcendental nature of my appearance and activities doesn't, upon leaving the body, take his birth again in this material world, but attains my eternal abode, O Arjuna. So over, that is translation is over. Prashadra, because of his karma, was cursed to take his next birth as a Sudra. But because he took to saintly life, so specifically concentrating his mind always upon the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he became a pure devotee. Immediately after giving up his body in the fire, he reached the spiritual.
Yes.
So as mentioned in the Bhagavad Gita, so as a result of his devotional situation. So devotional service performed by thinking Supreme Personality of Godhead is so powerful that although Shudra was cursed to Prashadra was cursed, he avoided the terrible consequences of becoming Sudra and instead returned home back to Godhead.
But after performing devotional service.
Yeah, so that means
Not,
so Prashadra's case, so
it's like Ajamela. He did not go immediately after chanting the Lord's name, but he did his devotional service on a personal form, then he went.
yeah, ultimately, so these slokas, so Prashadra means we are taking in the next life only. That's automatically this Prashadra in the next life only we are discussing. So the point whatever Prabhupada is writing, that means he's going to the, so still Jiva Goswami is also saying the same point. That means both are discussing about the same point. So in the next life, if we say, that means Jiva Goswami is not saying the before previous life. That means Prashadra's so original life. No, he is also telling about the when he was Sudra at that time only what happened. That only he is explaining. So that's why we cannot change, na? So that means Brahma Prapa, that only we should take. So here the point is, so this is what is the meaning of this? This Brahma Prapa means spiritual world or the Brahman. That's Krishna's Goloka or the Brahman. That. So that is the point actually. That same situation will be standing in front of you. So then why Jiva Goswami didn't take like that? Then he could also, then Jiva Goswami wrong then. So if you say, then Jiva Goswami will be the problem will come. No? So that's why it's not the point of that he did devotion. Then Jiva Goswami, why he's not accepting Aikantik Bhakti as main meaning? So why he's taking secondary meaning? Then you have to answer this. Then. So that's why here the point is, yeah, there is a difference is there. So that means both acharyas are discussing about the same thing. That means Brahma Prapa. So and one is reconciling. That means in this way. That means he is thinking Brahman as a Brahma Gnanam, and Gnana Triptihi means Gnana Triptaha means he is satisfied by that. So that is true. The way I explained in the Jiva Goswami's explanation. And in the next, Prabhupada is writing, he is going to the back to Godhead spiritual world. So because so Srila Jiva Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur gave Brahma means Sri Krishna. Sri Krishna clearly he wrote actually. Brahma means Sri Krishna. So that's why based upon that Acharya he followed and he wrote. So that's why there is no Prabhupada is. That's why I always say Prabhupada is always loyally, faithfully following Acharyas. That is a fact actually. That's right. And he never speculate. He never speculated anywhere. And he is such a loyal and faithful servant of his masters, his previous acharyas. So that is a great. So that is why actually we encourage devotees even in our institute also we try to teach these other commentaries along with the Bhagavatam to see the loyalty of the Srila Prabhupada, how he is following the either of acharyas. So that just he takes that much chance actually. So it's not that the whole chapter he is following one acharya. So sometimes he might be taking the Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, some next slok he might be taking the Jiva Goswami also. But then you might be seeing some kind of difference. So in the last sloka he might be following the in the Gnana Tripta is there in which sloka number? Sloka number it is there in the 12 na 12. So if we followed for the translation of 12th sloka, so if we followed Jiva Goswami, then he will be writing here Gnana means Brahma Gnanam. And if we followed in the 13th sloka, that means Brahma Prapa is there in which sloka? 13th sloka. So if we followed here, so Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, then he will be writing here Brahman as Krishna. So since in the 12th sloka he followed Gnanam, he explained as Brahma Gnanam, and in the 13th sloka he said Brahman as Krishna. So this kind of differences you might be seeing, but it is not the actually. So any mistake you cannot say it is as a mistake, because so he is taking here Brahman and he might be feeling that Prabhupada might be feeling that I will defeat by this Mayavadis, and here something he want to say, because he felt more preaching can be done by the Acharya's Jiva Goswami's commentary. If I take here in this sloka, so I can do more preaching, so I can bring out some points. Sometimes he will be writing both in the purport also. So like this he is always follows either of acharyas, but whole episode he may not be following the one acharya strictly. That strictness will not be there. That independence he will take. So whatever is relevant for in which acharya's commentary he feel more points are there which he directly can be helpful to preaching mission. Whatever is useful in these commentaries, that he will immediately take and start speaking on that. That he will do. This is Prabhupada, everything. Translation. Sometimes translation he will be writing based upon the Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, and purport he will be explaining based upon the Jiva Goswami. And also he will be mixing there Veer Raghavacharya. Also can be happening. He will be seeing the different views, and through every view he try to explain. So maybe sometimes you may see some kind of why it is differently it is said here and here only. So but it is not the drawback, but it is you should go and refer the commentaries. Your duty is you should go and refer the commentaries. and see why it is written here. Then you will understand. Full picture you will understand. Oh, acha, Prabhupada wants to say from this Acharya's commentary, this point. Okay. So then this point he presented here for preaching like this. Okay. And this point from the Vishnu Chakra Thakur he took and he wrote like this. Okay, like that. Like that you'll be seeing. So that is a style of the Srila Prabhupada's style of writing the purports on the Srimad Bhagavatam. Okay, if you come to Gopijan Prabhu, it's clear. Yeah. So next, we are seeing the same kind of thing in the case of Prahlad Maharaj also. Mamam pralobayotpatya saktam kameshu tairvarai tatsanga bhito nirvinno mumukshustvam ityatra Sri Prahlada Vakye mumukshatu kamatyagena ichha. Now you are seeing the reverse. You are seeing the reverse. There actually in the case of Prushadra, he is not a devotee, but he said as a Aikantika Bhakta. So that's why there you are taking Aikantika word as secondary meaning. Now you see the Prahlad Maharaj. Prahlad Maharaj is, it is a known fact that from his all other prayers and other things, so we clearly know that he is a pure devotee. Yeah, Prahlada, he is a pure devotee. But we are seeing in one place, what is that? 7:10:2. There we are seeing he as having the desire for mumukshu, na? So 7:10:2 Mam praloba yotpatya saktam kameshu tairvaya sangar nirvinno mumukshuhu. That means Prahlad Maharaj himself is saying, I am mumukshuhu. He is himself telling about. So he is telling himself. What he is saying? He is saying himself as mumukshu means desiring liberation. So that means from this you might be understanding, oh, Prahlad Maharaj is Aikantik Bhakta and also he is having the desire for liberation. So then how can you say in Aikantik Bhakta, Nanaka Prashto, Naparameshtu, these things? So Aikantik Bhakti means, so you accept Prahlad Maharaj as Aikantik Bhakta and also he is having the desire for the liberation. Then, so Aikantik Bhakti means you cannot say that, so completely free from the desires. You may argue like this by showing this statement 7:10:2. So where Prahlad Maharaj himself is mumukshu. Then what Srila Jiva Goswami is saying here? So mumukshu means kamatyagechaiva here. So here just to say the with the intention. What is the intention of Prahlad Maharaj here? So to leave the desires. To leave the desires, he was saying like that. So that's mukshu means here what you should take, desire for leaving desire for renouncing or desire for renouncing kama tyaga ichcha, tyagechaya. So that means kama tyagechya means, kama means you can take lust or material desires. Material desires. Kama means. So tyaga means, so leaving or leaving the, so material desires, leaving material desires. So he is having a desire for leaving material desires. So with that meaning only he used mumukshuhu word. Prahlad Maharaj used mumukshuhu word. It's not that he is having the desire for the liberation. No. Kamatyagechaiva. So that's why there is no inconsistency in the meaning of Aikantiki Bhakta. So that's why discrepancies are there in these other places. So that here Srila Jiva Goswami is clearly clarifying to us. Next, yedi dasyasi me kaman varastvam varadarshava kamanam hrutsamroham bhavatastu runevaram iti vakshamanat. Because and also in next in the future, in the 7th sloka, he is also going to say, he said mumukshu, he said himself in the 7.10.2, and in the 7.10.9, what he is saying, 7, he's saying what? 7.10.7. What is saying? Read. Yedi dhasyasi me kaman. So varan tvam varadarshava kamana hrud samroham bhavatasturunevaram. Okay, what is?
O my Lord, best of the givers of benediction, if you at all want to bestow a desirable benediction upon me, then I pray from your Lordship that within the core of my heart there be no material desires.
Now, within my heart there should be
No material desires.
that is the thing actually. So how you are saying the meaning of mumukshu is desire for leaving the material desires, because it is said in the clearly in the next 10.7. So 7th sloka. 7.10.7. He is clearly saying that, oh my dear Lord, so make that no desires can be in my heart. This is the point actually. This clearly is showing. That means he is having the desire for leaving the desires, material desires. That is the meaning of mumukshu, not that having the desire for the some so-called liberations. Next, bhakti yogasya sarvam antarayatayarbhakaha iti Sri Naradena praguktatvacha. Even the also one more reason we are giving why we should take here mumukshu means not the liberation, desire for liberation, but only the desire for leaving the material desires, because even in the previously, so purvam, that means praguktatva, that means Narada already said that this boy is crossed over all the obstacles. Bhakti yogasya, so tat sarvam antarayarbhakaha. You can read this translation 7.10.1. Previously, already Narada said this.
The saint Narada Muni continued. Although Prahlad Maharaja was only a boy, when he heard the benedictions offered by Lord Narasimhadeva, he considered them impediments on the path of devotional service. Thus, he smiled very mildly and spoke as follows.
Yeah. So that means even you can see why you should take mumukshu means leaving the desire for leaving the desires, because this is 7.10.2, but in the 7.10.1 already he said that. So whatever Prahlad Narisingh Bhagavan is offering different material desires, those all he thought Prahlad Maharaj thought that these are all impediments in the path of devotion. Impediments in the path of devotion. This already he thought. That's why we are taking here the mumukshu word as this meaning. Okay. This is the way how acharyas actually. So wherever you will be getting some problem and some doubts, he'll be clarifying clearly. So for establishing, here we are especially seeing that. So wherever the problems may come in the future, so to establish aikanti bhakti, so there is no desires for the devotee. So that kind of, so in that journey, so you may get some kind of problems. So for you, that's why. So Jiva Goswami is clearly so solving the things and clearly establishing. Yes, Archana Bhakti Mataji, please.
So Prabhuji, in Prishadra's case, we take Aikantika Bhakti secondary meaning.
Yes.
And in Prahlad Maharaj's case, we take liberation's secondary meaning, mumukshu's secondary meaning.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly, Mataji.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Good observation. So next, if we come to the Ambarish Maharaj, once again, Ambarish Maharaj is the best example for the Navadha Bhakti. So evam Srimad Ambarishasya yajna vidhanamapi lokasangraharthak. So lokasangraharthakam eva gneyam. Once again, even in the case of the Ambarish Maharaj, we should understand that Ambarish Maharaj is the best example for the Navadha Bhakti, and is a fully surrendered devotee. Sharanapati also he took, but he's performing the yajnas. That means, like here is seeing the for Ananya Bhakti, what are the conditions are that's pure devotion says what are the conditions needed? Anyabhilasha Sunyam, that means not desiring any material things. That is one condition. Another is Gnana Karma Amishratvam, not mixed with the Gnana and Karma. So then if he is not mixed with the Gnana and Karma, then why? Then why he is doing the yajnas? So that means if he is performing the pure devotional service, Sakshat Bhakti, so he is performing the Sakshat Bhakti and also someone does the karma, then what we call him as? What we call him? If someone does the Sakshat Bhakti and also some karma he does, then what we call him? What kind of Bhakti that is? That is Karma Mishra Bhakti. That is the Karma Mishra Bhakti. What is that? Is the Sangha Siddha Bhakti, or otherwise you can say Karma Mishra Bhakti. In the Karma Mishra Bhakti, what happens? So one will be doing the karma along with the bhakti, Sarup Siddha Bhakti, that is a Sakshat Bhakti. So then what will happen? Even it is the karma, so since it is done along with the Sarupa Siddha Bhakti, that is Sakshat Bhakti, so that's why that karma is also known as Bhagavad Dharma. So that is known as Karma Mishra Bhakti. So we should then, that is not pure devotional service. So then in Ambarish Maharaj is doing yajnas, means then you should consider him also as Karma Mishra Bhakta. But we know him as Aikantiki Bhakta. Aikanta Bhakta or not? So we know for other places, Aham Bhakta Paradina, Lord also says, I am the controlled by this, and so many other places you'll be seeing. So he is given Sudarshan Chakra, Lord himself sent to him to protect him. Lord, so Vishnu, so Krishna, so send his own Sudarshan Chakra, because sometimes enemies may attack him, and he should not fight. My devotee should not go and fight. So that's why he appointed Sudarshan as a security guard for him. So such a thing he did. So because he is Aikantika Bhakta. So but we are seeing he is performing the yajnas. Then what is the definition of how we can establish Aikantika Bhakti in the case of Ambarish Maharaj? Then that's why it is said here what? Here Yajna Vidhanam is what? Loka Sangrahartakam eva. Just for the teaching to the society. Being a king, if he doesn't follow the Vedic rituals, then society will be, even they are not pure devotion. And so they will be thinking that apparently they are not seeing because devotion is so sukshmam, so subtle, and they will not be seeing that devotion and simply think that so Lord is leaving all his prescribed duties, performing the yajnas and so nitya karmas and naimitya karmas. So I will also leave all those, and I will also, they will not do bhakti also because that is subtle, they cannot see that. And also since they are apparently seeing that Lord is not doing any karma, any yajna yaga this, so they will not do that also. Then finally, so there is a bad example in the Zadmis society. So Loka Sangrahartam. So that's why you have to have the ability of explaining these scenes. So you should know the secondary meaning. So what is secondary meaning? You also should know Loka Sangrahartam. This kind of things you should, this kind of weapons you should keep with you, so that whenever someone put a question in your classes, so that means Prabhu, so Ambarish Maharaj you are saying as a pure devotee, and Prabhu he is doing the yajna also. Then what you will do? If you don't know Loka Sangrahartam, then out. And you see Prahlad Maharaj, he said Mumukshu. So Prabhu, you said Prahlad Maharaj as Aikanta Bhakta, and he is written here Mumukshu. Then what is this? So that is the thing we should learn from this today's class. Yes, Archana Bhakti Mataji.
Prabhuji, can you please explain that part again? Why Ambarish Maharaj performed yagya? You said loka sangrahartham, and
Yeah.
you said that practicing devotional service is subtle. I didn't get that part, Prabhuji.
Yeah. So Lokasangrahartham, that means for the just setting example to the society, he performed the yajnas. So if he doesn't do that yajna and he is doing his own bhakti, so bhakti is so subtle. Subtle means it looks normal activity only. Just like example, he is doing his japa and he is also cooking, he is eating and he is offering. So thing is, so like you see outside person and devotee in the apparent activities, if you see they are both same. So he is preparing the bhoga and offering and eating. So people think that, oh, he is also cooking food and eating. They will not see the activity of the devotion there. So that is a simple sukshma actually. So the bhakti element is so subtle actually, sudurlabham and sukshmam. So bhakti element is subtle actually, sukshmam. The devotion is not yajna. So then that's why outside people, what they think, they will not see the positive side of the Ambarish Maharaj. That means he's doing his devotion, because that is not visible for the people who have the gross intelligence. And so that's why definitely they cannot catch the mood of devotion of the Ambarish Maharaj. They cannot catch, and that's why they cannot do the bhakti also. And if he doesn't do the yajna yagadis also, so they will see that finally, so he is not doing any yajna yagadis, and also they cannot understand the bhakti whatever done by the Ambarish Maharaj. So in what way they will take in what they will learn from the Ambarish Maharaj? So everything, leave everything and be happy. Don't follow any Vedic karmas. So then that will make them to fall down actually. And from the Vedic path, Vedic culture, they are falling down means they are not human beings. They are not following the Nitya Naimitya karma, dharma, then that is fall down actually. They are not human beings at all then. Like the present society, how it happened, like that it will happen. So various reasons, that's why this culture is completely spoiled because of many reasons. So okay, so this is the point we should understand. Is clear, Mataji? Yeah. Okay, we'll discuss remaining things tomorrow. And I will finish this anuccheda tomorrow. And okay. Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.